Then the following morning, they were dispatched in other 3 detention camps. That was Kajiado, Marsabit, and Lokitang. And when he said Amalu and the rest of the Kikuyus, he was able to convince the court. So it was Macharia that prompted the case to go wrong against Jomo Kenyatta. The British government requesting him to assist them to understand who are the people behind Mau Mau.
That is it. As expected, it was the best.
Kenyatta was taken to Maralal for another 2 years house arrest.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are traveling to Kapenguria, a famous town known for 6 of the political figures in this country. And we will go there and do a story about the actual town and also visit the Kapenguria 6, the jail itself, where the likes of the founder of this country and the first president of this country, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, was jailed. So, as usual, we are walking along in this journey with one of the locals, whom you guys are already familiar with. Yes, Mr. Jomo Kenyatta?
Yes, sir.
So, what are we doing today?
We will get a privilege to visit the West Pokot headquarters, where it hosts the office of the governor, office of the county commissioner, and the Kapenguria urban setup in this part of Kenya. I think people will be able to enjoy and see a lot of history because it hosts the cells which our great leaders were arrested early 1952. The Kapenguria 6, the famous Kapenguria 6, Jomo Kenyatta, Bildad Kagia, Paul Ochieng On'eko, Kungu Karumba,
Bildad
Kagia, and the like. So the people will enjoy, and that is the beauty of this place. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we are also going with my friend Hassan Omar. I'm sure he's not new to this channel. So Hassan, how is your trip in West Pokot and what are you looking forward to today?
Amazing. Like any other northern counties, we've thought that West Pokot is a very dry land, a very harsh environment, but to our shock, we came to find that it's completely different. And the picture we have seen here is, mashallah, amazing. I'm looking forward to see where the Kapenguria 6 were jailed. That is the most enjoying part of our journey. Probably we'll be able to see how the evolution impacted lives in this part of the country.
Be here and let's do this together.
Then the following morning, they were dispatched in other 3 detention camps. That was Kajiado, Marsabit, and Lokitang. After being taken to those camps, they stayed there for 21 days. After 21 days, they were brought here in Kapenguria. So they were locked in cells, and the following day, the judgment was opened against them. This number 1 room, it became a reporting office, as I said. There was somebody sitting here called Mr. Goodell. Mr. Goodley was the one in charge of reminding the Kapenguria 6 of their faults. Kenyatta coming to appear before him, he was put on that chain behind you. And then he was told, Kenyatta, you are here because you are managing unlawful society known as Mau Mau. For that reason, you are here. Kenyatta had it, went back to the cell, Karumba was brought, On'eko, Kagia, Ngei, Kubai. Then from here, they were to appear before the Cheoyet High Court. Appearing before the Cheoyet High Court, the same case was read and somebody was given time to defend himself. But because it was something planned that at all costs, these people must be found guilty of an offense. Therefore, after defending themselves for 48 days, they were all found guilty of an offense because the trial took 48 days, though they were forced to stay here in Kapenguria for 6 months. So during the last verdict, the Kapenguria 6 were all found guilty. Then they were now sentenced to 7 years with hard labor. From Kapenguria, they were taken to Lokitang for a sentence of 7 years. After Lokitang, they were taken to Lodwar for 2 years house arrest. From Lodwar, Kenyatta was taken to Maralal for another 2 years house arrest. And then the rest of 5 were taken to Shimolatewa in Mombasa, again for 2 years house arrest. Then from there, it was now running towards 63. Then we got the independence on 12th December 1963. Now, maybe the person, the reason as to why Kenyatta and the team were found guilty, there was a man called Rawson Macharia. Rawson Macharia was somebody who had just studied up to standard 3, that common entrance. I think if you have heard of it, those years, common entrance was the education system in Kenya. From standard 2, you do an exam, you go to class 3. So this man, after completing standard 2, he was not able to meet for the school fees, which was 150 shillings. He had been called at Mang Boys High School. So when these guys seemed to have no otherwise, he was brought on board by the British government, requesting him to assist them to understand who are the people behind Mau Mau. So Macharia was given that task. He went to the ground. After investigation, he brought the report to the Mzungu saying, the man behind this is Jomo Kenyatta and the team. Therefore, this is the man that is inciting Kenyans to fight against the British government. Therefore, he was again given another task to accept to be the witness on the case. That's why on the board you can see their money, which has been given to the people. Anybody that was willing to avail the witnesses in court, he was to be given that amount of money. You know, in 1952, somebody giving you 2,700, that was a lot of money. And Macharia accepted. So he was coached. After being coached, he was promised that if Kenyatta will be found guilty, him will be taken to abroad, to the UK, to study for anthropology. And that being the case, it was so sweet. It was a deal to him. So he accepted the offer. He came before the court carrying the head of a sheep, the blood on the bowl, Sodom Abel, and so many other queer things. Meaning, these were the things that Kenyatta was using to officiate oath among the Kikuyu community in Kenya at that time. Therefore, he was confessing that he, Macharia, was one of the people that had received some oathing from the hands of Jomo Kenyatta. And therefore, that became the reason why Kenyatta was found guilty, because now appearing before the court and having all those things, it automatically means you are the person being involved behind Mau Mau oathing in Kenya. And therefore, Kenyatta was found guilty. And then Macharia was taken to the UK to study anthropology for 2 years. After having done that, at the end of the 2 years, when Macharia came back, while he was away, his wife was being paid 1,500 sterling pounds. I think that was a lot of money. So he was given the money while he was away. And after 2 years, when Macharia came, immediately at the airport, he was received by the policeman. He was told, Macharia, you are under arrest. The reason being, you are being charged for perjury, meaning you knew you were lying before the court, and you went on lying. So you are under arrest. You will go and answer that before the court of law. So immediately he was also charged in court, and he was sentenced to 2 years without bond and anything. So that was it. So it was Macharia that prompted the case to go wrong against Jomo Kenyatta. That is it. Each person had a cell. That is Fred Kubai to the last person, Ochieng On'eko. But then this number 2 cell, this one was for Ochieng On'eko. But according to Ochieng On'eko, he was also charged for managing Mau Mau. But when he appeared before the court, after being remanded here and appearing before the Choet High Court, he denied the charges, which was read for him. He was saying, when he was told, On'eko, you are charged for managing Mau Mau, he defended himself by denying all the charges, saying, I am a Luo, and the rest are the Kikuyus. And the Mau Mau oath was being done in Kikuyu. So how do you expect me, Ochieng On'eko, to speak fluent Kikuyu, to lure the Kikuyu community into Mau Mau activities? Which he made sense before the court of law. He was acquitted. But having gone like 100 meters, he was followed up, pre-arrested, promptly brought before the same court. Now, appearing before the court for the second time, he was told, On'eko, you are being charged for trespass and incitement. So he was found guilty. Him was also fixed for 7 years with hard labor and went with the rest. So he was removed from here. He was put last on the line. So his cell will sit last on the other side. That's why this one is locked without a name. This was the cell. They stayed here. Just as you are dressed, you stay here for 6 months without changing, without doing anything. Si ulikuja na nguo yako, wewe ni mfungwa. Utakaa tu venye ukienda cell, si ile nguo ulienda nayo ndio unakuwa nayo. So it was like that.
They were being fed. They were getting.
Yes, they used to cook from outside here. Oh. Yes, they used to cook for themselves. As I had said earlier, On'eko was separated from the rest because he denied all the charges that he was a Mau Mau. But then he said he was not one of the Mau Mau members, but he was not one of them because he was not a Kikuyu. And that's why he was saying he cannot even speak Kikuyu. And when he said Amalu and the rest of the Kikuyus, he was able to convince the court. So he was acquitted. But having been acquitted, he was followed and rearrested, brought before the court, and then he was charged for trespass and incitement. So that's why he was isolated and brought here.
So apart from the five, apart from Ochieng On'eko, the rest of the five were all Kikuyus? Or was Paul Ngei from a different
No,
lineage?
Paul Ngei was Mkamba, but then because of Mount Kenya factor, yes, he was one of them. Yes.
So I've seen so far this amazing, and I've seen the colonial cells where Jomo Kenyatta, Bildad Kagia, Kubai, Ochieng On'eko, and the six Kungu Karumba, the six Kapenguria 6 were arrested and jailed. So we've seen it. It's an amazing story. We've had a very interactive session here, and that is it. As expected, it was the best.
So we have really enjoyed the tour, and this is one of the most epic tours I have ever done in my life. Wow. Yeah, so we thought the other day we went to Takwel Dam and we have seen the beauty of nature that is based in West Pokot, and we thought that is the end of it until we came to this place and we have seen something more tremendous than that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you people.
Okay.
You are most welcome again. May you just go and tell people that we have Kapenguria 6, we have Kapenguria Museum, where Kenya was born. Sure. Actually, this was the labor word for Kenya. Without Kapenguria, maybe these people would not have been tried. But since the trial took place here, that is why everything that happened in Kenya in 1952 is found here. Therefore, Kapenguria Museum is one of the hidden treasures in West Pokot County. People must walk around to see their beauty of history. Then they must appreciate it.
And on that note, the same, a lot of Kenyans don't even know where the Kapenguria 6 is. They have only learned this in history. And so I learned this when I was in class 4 or 5. Yes. But I ended up coming years later when I was already a married man who is grown up and
an old man.
An old man now. So, and I'm sure now the rest of the country also people are not aware of this. Otherwise, we will have had a very serious traffic here of people coming to seek history, heritage, and everything. So, what's your message to the rest of the country?
My message is that when you talk about independence, this is where Kenya was born, and we must respect the freedom and independence of our people, the independence of Kenya. We should not just take things light. People died, people suffered, the families got divided over this. And today, as we stand here, it is a product of our struggle. And therefore, I want to urge Kenyans to just be very peaceful, to love one another, to live in peace, because people already fought for us, and therefore we must respect each other and respect the independence of this country.
Thank you. That's very deep, and I hope that message will hit home right to every Kenyan who is watching this. So until next tour, bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.